Hey everybody, it's time for the Albert and Billy Show.
Yeah. It's time.
Hey, show time, isn't it? I want to get me a drink real quick.
Right off the
Got
bat.
caught off guard there, Papa. Welcome to the Albert and Billy Show. Our second episode of the new year, Papa. 2022 is here.
Yeah, it's the second episode. Today's the 14th.
It is, and that reminded me, I think I covered them all last week, though. Yeah, we're good on that. Yeah, it's weird saying 2022. Have to get used to saying that.
There's a lot of twos going on in it.
A lot of twos. And as soon as you get used to a year, it changes. You know what I mean? You have to.
You'll never have to worry about saying 22.
Oh, that would be crazy, wouldn't it?
I said
Two.
You'll never have to worry about that.
No, that would be insane.
I'm tickled to death to say 2022.
Oh yeah.
I'll be 89 next month.
You will not.
I'll
He's
be
telling.
87.
He's always telling his age. 80. Let's see, what was it, Miss Tina? Was it Tina Brown? Said, Albert, stop telling your age all the time, and I'll be dadgum if it got worse. Tina, you going to talk to him again?
You get a lot of extra presents out of the way, so you got an extra
That's what it is. That's what it
cards
is.
and letters and
I thought about that.
fan mail.
That's what it is. Oh, me, Papa. Well, we're going to give you a couple of announcements because, well, they're important. First off, well, of course, Fall Creek Falls Fire Department breakfast is important. It's going to be next Saturday, January 22nd. It's always 7 to 10 a.m. every time they have it. Of course, it's at the Fall Creek Falls Fire Department. And they're going to have, let's see, it's always good, biscuits and gravy, scrambled eggs, hash browns, pancakes, with fruit. With fruit toppings, it says. Now, it usually doesn't say that. That's new.
That's new.
That is new. Then they got bacon, sausage, country ham, fried bologna, fruit, and then to drink, orange juice, or you can get you a cup of coffee, glass of milk, glass of water. It's for $7 per plate. Children 10 and under can eat for free, though. But remember, the $7 obviously goes for a very good cause. As we always say on here, it's a volunteer fire department.
Volunteer.
So that's where that money's going, folks. So anytime you donate to that or buy a meal from them, you're doing a good thing. It's for a very good cause, isn't that right?
Right.
And Papa, it's hard to believe that local elections are pretty much underway. I mean, they're
It's getting
there.
heated. It's getting heated.
Right. And so this is out of the Bledsonian, so we want to remind people of the deadlines, okay? The first day to pick up a petition, which that was December the 20th, but the qualifying deadline, folks, if you are planning on running for office, is going to be February 17th, about the 27th, but 17th at 12 o'clock noon.
It's my birthday.
Well, what about that? That's the cutoff date by Georgie.
Cutoff.
Papa's birthday. If you're going to run for office, you better have it turned in by Papa's birthday.
What about that?
For those running as a Republican, Democrat, or Independent for the offices listed above, which is County Mayor, Trustee, Sheriff, Circuit Court Clerk, County Clerk, Register of Deeds, and Road Superintendent. Let's see. So that's the deadline. And I'll make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think well, the withdrawal deadline, if you have a change of heart, you have to do that by February 24th, also at 12 noon. And the last day, folks, to register to vote for this election is April the 4th. So make sure you get registered to vote by April the 4th.
But by all means, vote.
Yes. Yes, vote. But this is your local election, folks. So yeah, get out there and vote.
This is the core of democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is every person having their say-so about how they're governed.
That's true. That's true. We're trying to get back to that. Yes. Hopefully we will. So that is some local election news and all kinds. let's see, trying to think, Papa. I don't know if anybody's running uncontested. Maybe, well, I don't think anybody's running for county mayor against Ridley, right?
No.
But now, I know the sheriff
no
race.
one running against Janice Sapp.
Right. That's all. Okay, now, of course, we done talk about the sheriff's race. But now, Emma Boynton, yeah.
4 running for that.
She's retiring. 4 people running for that. Two of them, bless Emma's heart, close to her, real close to her.
That one is.
Yes,
Yeah, that one's real close.
John Boynton. But then you have Janine Boynton.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Wow.
and then also, I'm trying to think of the other candidates for that one. I do apologize because I don't have that. Papa, where's that Bledsoe at? It's on the front page. I hate to not say the other two's names too, but they're not coming to my mind. But there's 2 more people. Let's see. Oh, now hang on a second. Okay, I'm glad that we got this, Papa. Okay, but the one we're talking about right now, which is Register of Deeds, which Emma Boynton is retiring. And by the way, as it gets closer to her retirement date, I spoke to Emma. She's going to do an episode on here on the Albert Billy
Oh,
Show.
come on.
Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
But with her retirement, so you got 4, but we talked about Janine and John, but you also have Edna Williams, Hudson, and J.C. Raines. They're also running for Register of Deeds. But I didn't know this one. 3 Republican candidates have shown interest in representing their party for the office of county trustee. The incumbent Tracy Cagle ran as an independent previously, but is now running as a Republican along with Amy Agee and Adrian Hankins. And okay, that'll be close. All these will be close. And then the incumbent road superintendent Robbie Robertson is being challenged in the Republican primary by Tobe Smith. So
I saw some signs
Oh, okay.
already about Tobe Smith.
I did the trustee part's what I didn't know. I didn't know Adrian Hankins and Amy Agee were running, so
I'm not allowed to endorse any, right?
no, not yet.
I'm not going to endorse any.
But I will say this: notice how they're all running in the Republican primary. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I think it's going to be a big takeover.
Really stands out.
I think
to
there'll
me.
be a big takeover of
yes.
power and swap out. A big
Well,
swap out.
'cause-
That's what I really like to see is swap out.
Well, then I feel bad for. We had a guest on here one time, Dean Sparks. Remember, he flat out said that the National Party is making it very hard for state and local Democrats to get anywhere in local races.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a very good point.
He's right.
Because Democrats are Democrats, not liberals. They need to be separated.
The thing
Parties.
about the thing that concerns me
Mm-hmm.
is we have 3 sponsors in the courthouse that sponsors the Albert Beatty show, and
True.
And
I
they're
take-
all going to be on here.
I take brownies to all 3 of them. I've been wanting to keep their sponsorship, but now listen.
Well, your brownies can do the trick, Papa.
Now listen. If Emma retires,
And she
and
is.
whoever takes her place does not continue her sponsorship, they don't get my brownies.
That's right. That's right. You heard it here, folks.
Whoever.
So, Papa, when you
good.
make a sheet of brownies, how many brownies do you actually get out of the whole pan?
8 or 10.
8 or 10.
Wow.
So you could just take 1 or 2 and put them in a little sandwich bag and give them to them and bring me and Billy the rest.
Exactly. And I don't even like brownies, but I love his.
I love brownies.
When I go
I
to
love
Michael Walker's office, I have to take 4.
Oh, now, of that race, I'm glad you said Michael Walker's name. There is one Democrat running. That's Matt Colbert. He is running as Democrat against Michael Walker. So so most of the
For what?
races, circuit court clerk.
Oh, okay.
Which Michael Walker would be your incumbent. So, but as we say, all you people, everybody that is running for office, you have an open invitation to make an appearance here on the Albert and Billy Show and get some exposure. I would do it, that's for sure, but that's just me. But that's an open invite to everybody. We're fair and balanced when it comes to that.
Again, I want to repeat, the people that are getting my brownies, you sponsor us, you get brownies.
That's right. That's the most important part right there.
I take one to
Didn't
Sadie.
somebody in Bledsoe County go into prison one time for buying votes?
Oh yeah, a few. Just one person.
I give Sadie one every time I take them to Bill Bridge.
Really?
I give a brownie to Sadie.
And does Miss Sadie eat it? I bet she does.
Shoot, yeah.
Well, might as
That's
well.
not just fishing food.
No. Well, we might as well mosey on into the trivia part of the show.
I'm ready.
I'd never know if I am or not for trivia, but we'll see.
Okay, to get started off with a real easy one, 10 dimes is what?
10 dimes is $1.
That's easy. I wanted to get you started off on easy.
It's a trick question though, kind of, because
Now,
if you missed it, you'd be really embarrassed.
Blythe is the last name, or Landers. What's
Who?
the first name? Blythe or Landers?
Ann?
Ann.
There we go.
You did that with Landers.
I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did. Ann Landers, yeah, I've heard her.
Drink like Rover. How does Rover drink?
Who's Rover?
A dog. Rover is a standard name for a dog.
That is true.
Or
How
Spot.
do dogs drink?
How do dogs drink? Well, they.
Mine drinks with a straw and his pinky finger out.
Yeah, it's like
Pinky
they're
fingers.
licking it. It looks like they're licking it almost. I mean,
Lapping it.
Lapping. Okay.
Lapping.
Okay.
Licking, lapping.
Dogs and cats
Lapping
both
sounds
drink like
better.
that. Yeah.
Another name for a taxi. 3 letters.
Cab.
Taxi cab.
I was thinking dirty.
Blank and the Beast.
Beauty.
Aren't these easy?
Just because I'm getting them right does not mean that it's easy, Papa. Had to get on to him last week
After
for
the
that.
flood in the book of Genesis, God said to Noah and to Shem and Ham and Japheth, and they're all their wives, 8 people.
8 people.
8 people that were alive after the flood. He said, I'm going to put a sign in the heavens to promise man that I will never destroy the earth by water anymore. What was that sign?
Oh crap! A rainbow.
A rainbow.
A 7-color rainbow.
Wow.
7 colors,
What's
not
the
6.
shape? What's the shape of a rainbow?
I don't know. I got the question right. That's all that matters. So you can. That's a bonus part. Tell us. Do tell.
An arc.
Arc.
Yeah. Yeah.
My kids, when they were little, they wanted me to drive to the end of the rainbow. I'm not lying. Did you not ever?
They
do that?
are. Yeah. I mean, yeah. They are amazing. They really are.
Get in trouble digging somebody's yard up.
Looking for that pot
Looking
of
for
gold.
where the
Looking
pot of
for
gold.
Oh yeah.
A toy that is a construction object. The kids get a set of blank logs to build with, construct.
Lincoln Logs.
Not Lincoln.
Oh,
Your clothes are
It's
terrible
logs.
sometimes.
It starts with an L. 4
Lincoln
letters.
Logs. It's not Link Logs.
Lego.
Oh
oh,
man.
those are blocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Papa. So that don't count.
You got that one by proxy.
Why do you put cheese in a trap?
To catch a mouse.
So it's
So you can kill it.
bait.
That's right. Because mice are useless. The pest.
We had a next door neighbor one time that called us. She lived alone. And she said,
Trina.
She
I
said,
remember her.
we all come down to our house, to my house, said, I think I've got a rat. And we went down there, and sure enough, you could hear one in her drawer.
Oh my.
And I said, well, we'll help you get rid of it. And so we set a trap, put some cheese in it, and I said, let's go in the living room and turn the light out. And in just a little while, bud, that trap tripped.
Wow. That's funny right there.
We had a pastor one time. He and his wife didn't have any children, just getting started. They called me and Carolyn and said, you don't come up here, we got a rat. We did the same thing with them.
Your name Papa must have been the rat patrol.
We were the rat patrol.
Trina, where did she lives in Chattanooga now?
Well, she came here from Athens.
Maybe she moved back there. I'm not sure where she moved to from here. I remember her well, and she watches the show though on YouTube.
Really?
So, hello Trina. Yeah.
Bless
It
her
was
heart.
nice to communicate with her.
I got
again.
started mowing her yard, and I still mow the
I know.
people there now.
And they try to mow Papa's, but of course he gets to it first.
All right, that's all of
They're
the
measuring it.
Well, I'm gonna say I made 100.
You did.
I sure did.
At least 99.
I say 100 because the clues were really, really bad on the Lego one.
Lincoln Logs. I never heard of Lincoln Logs.
Oh,
Lincoln
my gosh.
Logs.
Well, the Legos are blocks, so that's why I feel like I should get credit for that. 'Cause
Okay, I stand corrected.
Fair play. All right. Well,
Don't
Papa,
never correct Papa.
That's the first mistake I ever made.
Lincoln Logs.
today.
Today.
All right. Well, we'll take a really short break, and after the break, we got all kinds of sports of all sorts.
We've got all kinds of sports.
But a lot of good news when it comes to Tennessee, mostly, that's for sure. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, some good old Albertology. That's also coming up after the break right here on the Albert Billy Show. Stay tuned, folks.
I'll take care of lunch today, Dylan. Oh, doggone, I lost my debit card.
Hey, use that new Mountain Valley Bank app we got. You know, Card Valet. You can freeze your card so nobody can use it till you find it.
That's a good idea, Dylan. Where was the last place I used my debit card?
I don't know. Hurry up. I can't stay until I hear error. I feel like I'm doing the mannequin challenge. I'm gonna end up with lockjaw. Thank God.
The app freezes my debit card, Dylan, not you.
Oh.
Welcome to the Dunlap Mercantile, located in the heart of the beautiful Sequatchie Valley at 15664 Rankin Avenue in Dunlap, Tennessee. Stop in today for some Mayfield ice cream or a cup of community coffee, and if you're interested in renting this venue for your event, call 423-949-2552. Stay tuned to DunlapMercantile.com for concerts and events coming to the Dunlap Mercantile in 2021. God bless.
Welcome back, folks, to the Albert and Billy Show here on WUAT Radio and Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV. Oh, and don't forget to go to BTC Fiber YouTube page. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's very important. And we are at 800 and something right now. We're really, really close. We're asking for your help. So please get on there and just hit subscribe to BTC Fiber. YouTube, you can watch all of the episodes of the Albert and Billy Show on there, along with all the original shows of Channel 18 BTC Fiber. Daryl's Hometown History Season 2 is coming soon, isn't it?
A couple of months we'll have Season 2
all right.
of the new program.
And you watch all the episodes of all the shows on there, so just get on there and subscribe. We really will appreciate that, won't we? Well, what's going on in the wild world of sports? But first, I saw him starting to point. He won't say them, though. God forbid he say them once. We want to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, Free Insurance, if I can get this without laughing now, Scotty's on Main Street, the offices of Emma Boynton, Michael Walker, and Lisa Wheeler, Farm Bureau Insurance in South Pikeville, Matt Massengale and his friendly staff, Pikeville Family Dentistry, catty corner to us here at our studios on Main Street. The Loom, our next door neighbor on Cumberland Avenue. Nickel Antiques, our even closer neighbor, literally right next to us. The Getting Place, go get you something at the Getting Place, Darryl. Morgan Brothers, along with the venue and the Bank Walker Brewery. Gibbs Pools, and well, might as well say Country Gospel Bluegrass Showcase Sunday along with that. State Farm Insurance, Nick Smith and his friendly staff on the bypass. Milldown Outdoor Adventures. We're going to film there next year, I'm telling you. It's going to happen. It's Lola's. Of course, that's right here, a hop skipping away on Main Street. And Collier and Company Realty. All right, Papa, let's see what's going on in the wide world of sports.
The bowl picture has disappeared.
Oh, I was so pleased with that national championship game.
The SEC wound up, I think, winning 6 and losing 5.
Well, at least they ended up with a winning record. That's a terrible record for a power conference such as the SEC.
Overall.
It really is. They should have done a lot better than that, Papa. A lot better. Tennessee should have won.
You want to go ahead and talk about the big one then?
The national championship? Why not? Because, boy, it did end on a good note for me.
That was January the 10th on a Monday. And the two elite teams of the SEC met head-to-head.
For the second time this season.
For the second time.
Now, Alabama did win the SEC championship game, and that was Georgia's only defeat of the season.
Both teams entered with a 13-1 record.
Yeah.
So one's going to lose unless they're still playing.
Right.
And one's going to win. So the final score indicated that Alabama, with Nick Saban at the helm, was not good enough to beat a Kirby Smart team.
That's Kirby's first win against him, and
Kirby
it was a big
Smart
one.
was pretty smart.
He sure was.
Since like 1972 was the last championship.
1980.
Oh, 80.
1980 was
Okay.
Georgia's last
I
one.
knew it was a long time.
That would have been when that legend Vince, what's his name?
Vince Dooley was
Vince
coach.
Dooley. He was legendary for Georgia.
But also it was when Herschel Walker
Yeah,
played.
no wonder they won the national championship that year.
I met Herschel Walker in a restaurant in Athens, Georgia.
He did.
That year, and I got his signature, buddy. Got his autograph. This was played in Indianapolis, Indiana at Lucas Oil Stadium. in front of 69,489 fans.
That's awesome.
But Tennessee played in the Music City Bowl instead in front of 69,489. We drew a larger crowd in Music City Bowl in Nashville to watch us than did the national championship.
You've got to be kidding me.
Isn't that something?
That really is. That speaks vault, which it was in Nashville.
68,311. So more than a 1,000 people watched Tennessee play.
Watch Tennessee get beat.
Tennessee
and a
lost.
heartbreaker.
Tennessee lost in the Music City Bowl to Purdue out of the Big Ten.
Painfully.
48 to
loss.
45.
Oh, it was.
Winding up with a 7-6 record.
I still give props to the Tennessee, though. Hey, you guys done good. I didn't even expect a winning season this year. So they did
you and I had
overachieve.
talked, and we didn't think that Tennessee would be on the tail, on the high end of a winning record.
No. Had no time to recruit, hardly.
One good indicator has come out of this. We've seen, Jones graduated, and Peyton graduated. That's your receiver core.
Yeah.
Those two men were responsible for over 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns between them. But we got a transfer that transferred in from Wyoming. His name is Isaiah Neyor, Neyor.
Okay.
And so he is. He had 44 receptions by himself, 878 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
Not bad at all.
So it sounds good to me. It sounds good to Josh.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Good deal. Now, the final score of the national championship was what, Papa?
The final score was 33 to 18.
Of the national championship.
Georgia 33, Alabama. Alabama only scored one touchdown, I think.
Well, it was, you're right. Once Georgia scored again, Alabama took the lead, though, remember? And
the game was Alabama's most of the way.
Yeah, then Georgia scored immediately after that, and that was it. That was it.
Then we got one interception that resulted in another touchdown.
That made so the
I
score.
said we. I'm not
Georgia. That made the score look maybe like it was not as close as what it actually was. It was
the
very
game was
close.
closer than 33 to 18.
Oh yeah, much closer.
But Georgia wound up with a 14-1 record.
Yeah.
Alabama had defeated Georgia 7 years in a row.
Man.
7 games in a row.
Yeah. Kirby hadn't beat his former boss yet, had he, until that night.
Saban has 6 titles at Alabama.
Yep. So he's
6
got
titles.
plenty. I have no I have no pity for him.
Another good note about Tennessee football, our punter, our kicker, not punter, our kicker.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Because of COVID, giving him one more year.
Yes.
He's a 5th-year senior.
Yep.
But he's coming back for one more year. He led the team in points scored. He had 102 points.
Wow. That's crazy.
He set a record for 66 PATs.
That's impressive.
And he also had 12 out of 16 field goals.
That's impressive.
So he had 102 points. Of course, Tennessee set the record for total scoring, 511 points, with most points ever scored by a Tennessee team in a season.
Wow, I'm not surprised, but I didn't know that. But his focus is offense. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, basketball.
Yeah.
Tennessee played Ole Miss the other night.
Now we got to specify which we're talking about, the men or the women.
The women.
Lady Voss, yeah,
They went to Oxford, Mississippi, and played
Ole Miss
Ole Miss had won 13 in a row.
Yeah, they had a good record.
They had 13-1 record. And Tennessee was number 7, and they had a 14-1 record.
Mm-hmm.
But when the smoke settled, we had a 70-58 win.
Yeah, it was a impressive road victory.
Horston's 20 points.
I know she's
good.
She's very good. I've been waiting. This is her junior year, so it's time for her to shine. Maybe she didn't. I heard the announcer say the other day that she kind of stepped away a little bit from taking over because of Renee Davis. She felt like it was her team, which Renee Davis was
last
the leading
night
scorer.
Burrow looked good.
She
Burrell.
did. She's back. Yes, glad to see her back. But Horston has been more comfortable taking over though now since Renee Davis graduated.
But it's a beautiful.
Those two can be.
It's a beautiful thing to watch that ball passed into Key and watch her immediately put the ball in.
Yes, she just needs to do it more often.
Right. Last night they played Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm. She did get 10, I believe, in that one.
It was a
blowout for the most part.
It was a blowout, really, but on the tail end there in the fourth quarter, it looked to me like
they let up a little bit.
I didn't understand that.
They let up a little bit, and you gotta keep going, don't you, to the very end. But Horston had another double-double, Pawpaw.
She looked good.
They said that was her third double-double in a row. This is a guard we're talking about, getting all these double-doubles. So that's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
She was a very highly talented recruit, so it's nice to see her play to her potential.
Now then, our men.
How about the men?
Our men.
Yeah.
Tennessee took care of South Carolina last Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
They had dropped down to number 22.
Yeah.
Because they had lost 4 games, and now they've won 11 and lost 4.
Yeah. It's been a little streaky.
Albert's watermark for the SEC.
Listen
to me. You cannot win games by scoring less than 70 points.
I've always
said that. In the SEC. And we won this game with just 66.
Because the defense was good.
But another anemic showing is at the uncontested free throw line. Nobody's guarding you. You have all the time you want. You can dribble 10 times.
I know.
But still, we cannot hit our foul shots.
That's mind-blowing to me.
Well, 11 out of 25. That means you missed 14.
That's pathetic. That should be in practice every day, shooting free throws for 2 hours if they can get them better than that.
Are you listening, Rick Barnes?
Yeah. I mean, that's fundamentals. Like, there's no excuse for that. There's really not.
Well, the high score was 14 points, Vescovi.
Yeah.
That won't cut it.
No. If they hadn't played good defense in that game, that's the only reason they won.
Now, Falke had been averaging 4 points a game the last 2 games, 5 and 4.
I know.
But last night he got 10, or that night he got 10.
He should be in double figures every single ball game. He should be a double-double.
He's big, but now tomorrow at Rupp Arena, we take on number 18 Kentucky, and we will play at 12 o'clock our time on ESPN.
12. Okay, is this the men's or women? Is this women's?
That's men.
Men's. Okay, that'll be a good one, folks.
Kentucky is 13-3, and we're 11-4. Neither team is where they usually are.
Yeah, I'm not used to Kentucky just being number 18 in the country.
Number 18.
They're usually in the top 5.
But Tennessee has dropped the ball here lately, and we should not have 4 losses on our record.
No, I'd like to see some more consistency with them for sure. But that would be a big win to win at Rupp Arena, and I think Tennessee's won there more than anybody.
I would rather beat Kentucky and lose 2 other games.
Exactly.
I'm not kidding.
You're right.
That puts a feather in your cap if you beat Kentucky.
It does.
At Kentucky.
Exactly. Yeah, to win at Rupp is a big deal. and we always can fall back on that big win over North Carolina, and we have another good win.
Was it
It's
Arizona?
Arizona. That was huge. Those are two really good wins right there.
So I think that's the reason we're hanging around at number 22.
It is. It is.
With 4 losses on our record.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got to do better. We've got to do better.
Got to
But
find some offense and consistency. Yep.
well, you got to be able to hit those free throws.
Yeah. There's no excuse for that. There's
14
not.
points added to 66 gives you 80.
Yeah, that's
It-
pitiful.
If you score 80 points, you will not lose more than 2 or 3 games a year.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing good if you can score 80. You're right about that.
And speaking of Rupp Arena, I would say if I were to go back in history year after year,
Oh, yeah.
Rupp Arena only gives that team probably 2 losses per year at
If
home.
that, yeah.
At home.
Yeah, and that's
No other
there's
team.
been plenty of years where they went undefeated at home. Kentucky.
Right.
I mean,
I
yeah.
don't believe any other team can make that kind of boast.
No, but I do truly believe Tennessee has more wins at Rupp though than any other team in the SEC.
Probably.
Mhm.
Probably. All right, that's all the sports.
Well, you're right. That was a lot of sports.
Well, I left out some of it.
But we'll just might talk about it next week. Can't never tell.
The interlude.
So now let's move on to Albertology, Papa.
The interlude between sports and Albertology will be a sports figure.
Really?
Joe Montana.
I was thinking of Snowman.
Real-
Do you think it's going to
Frosty.
listen?
Joe
Just a few minutes ago, a man stood right here and told us that we were going to get 8 inches of snow this weekend.
8 to 10.
8 to 10.
I hope he's wrong.
I hope he's real wrong.
Man.
Yay, global warming.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't mean that.
Oh, I
I'd like
didn't
to
know
have 65,
this.
70 every day. I could live with
Yeah.
I've
Is
been
the
hear-
wet you
I've
have?
been hearing it.
It's
Paula-
supposed to be cold for the next week and not probably thaw out if they do what they say they're going to do.
Well, I hope it's wrong because that's
Well.
depressing.
They're not saying.
Joe Montana is 65.
Hall of Fame
He's
quarterback.
a Hall of Famer at quarterback. And
49ers.
they made a documentary about him that
Oh, okay.
that was aired January the 6th.
I didn't know that.
It was about his days as an All-American high school player.
Really?
And then he went on from there to college at Notre Dame.
I didn't know where he went to college, so Notre Dame. Okay.
And then he won 4
Super Bowls?
Super Bowls with the Giants.
No, the 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers.
Him and Jerry Rice were a great duo.
Jerry Rice, I remember him quite well.
They were very
He
good.
was nicknamed the Comeback Kid or Cool Joe. I remember the Cool Joe more than I did the Comeback
Yeah,
Kid.
he didn't panic. He did not panic.
He did not panic.
No.
This documentary is called Cool Under Pressure.
That fits him perfectly. It really does.
So he said when he was young,
Mm-hmm.
he had to go through so many trials and tribulations and ups and downs. Why and how I got here, all that's in the documentary. So it'd be an interesting thing to watch.
Mm-hmm. I think that'd be really interesting to watch. Yeah.
He's
I didn't know about
He
it.
was asked in this article what was the greatest moment that he remembered in sports. And he said one year that they were playing the Philadelphia
Eagles.
Eagles
That's baseball.
in '89. And he said in the fourth quarter we were behind 3 touchdowns and we came back and won.
No, that's a comeback.
That's impressive.
He was a comeback kid on that one.
He said, I'll never forget that.
I'd say not. That's one heck of a comeback right
They
there.
asked him about his 4 Super Bowl rings, if he ever wore them. He said, no,
No?
they're not jewelry. To me, they're status symbols of what I have accomplished. They're in a safe. Now, every
Okay.
once in a while, I'll take them out and look at them. But
of course, you
but
should.
he said, I do not wear them.
Well, I can understand that, I guess.
And he was asked what he thinks about retirement.
What's the answer to that?
He said he started, along with some friends, he started a fund, a venture fund. I don't understand what a venture fund is.
Venture. What's
V-E-N-T-U-R-E. He said he and 4 friends have invested some money.
In a venture fund. We'll have to look that up.
And he said that his son, his oldest son, and one of his daughters has come to work with them. And what they do, they invest in early stage startups all across the board. Anything. They have this money that they invest. I'm sure they
to
do
help
it
businesses start
for a profit, I'm sure.
Well, maybe that's what a venture fund.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that means then.
What makes a democracy, and what makes things go even when things look bad is the entrepreneurship of individuals. That even though 2 or 3 buildings are idle in a town, somebody will come up with an idea of making something go, and it does.
Right.
The entrepreneurship is hard to define and it's hard to explain, but it works.
It works. And that's why I'll never be defeated.
All right. The show I Love Lucy was on television for a long time.
Absolute classic.
They had a remake of it. It's called We Love Lucy.
Really?
And Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem were the Lucy and Desi Arnaz in this show.
Is it going to be a show or a movie?
Well, it's just a movie. It came out on December the 10th.
Oh, so it's done been released recently, but
it's on Amazon. But it's about filming the show I Love Lucy. Can you imagine Lucille Ball being on the set and some of the things she would say and some of the things she do?
That had to be very funny atmosphere.
It says that in one of these, Lucy does a TV commercial. And nobody tells Lucy the new health elixir is loaded with booze.
And she keeps drinking.
She finds out about it.
That'll be better than the candy one, right?
That would be funny.
Now, do you know Kate Winslet?
Yeah, she's hot. She's in the Titanic.
Kate Winslet, the one I remember her most was in Titanic.
Yep, and did I not
that
say
was
that
with
there?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
There's an echo in here.
By the way, I just said that, but yes, Titanic. She probably won. I think she did win an Oscar for that.
She won an Oscar, Best Actress.
Yeah.
In 2009, she won for The Reader.
Okay.
The Reader.
Yeah, she's done other movies.
She's been nominated 7 times.
Wow.
Because of the filming of the Titanic, she and Leonardo
DiCaprio
became good friends.
Yeah.
And now her 3 children call him Uncle Leo.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool. Didn't know that.
Now here's another oddity about Kate Winslet. In the Titanic, there was to be a scene where Leonardo would see her in the nude.
Yeah.
So she knew about it, so she went ahead and practiced and flashed him.
Ooh. Lucky you.
I didn't get to see it.
I don't. Oh, maybe I do remember the nude seeing that. Yeah. Maybe. I have to watch that movie again.
Pickles.
Pickles. Good old Pickles. Pickles was funny last week.
Opal and Earl, that's the name of the old man and woman, and they have a grandson that hangs around a lot of times.
What's his name?
I can't remember. I've got it here.
Okay.
But she's looking in the mirror. Opal is looking in the mirror, and she says, "My goal this year is to eat less, exercise more, and lose 25 pounds. He says, that sounds hard.
Yeah.
She says, well, maybe, but I can do hard things if I put my mind to it.
Really?
She goes on, she says, in fact, that's going to be my mantra. I can do hard things. Do you want to join me? Here's his thanks. Here's what he says. No thanks. My mantra is I can hardly do things. Not do hard things.
That's smart. That's a good answer.
This is Celebrity Cipher.
What celebrity are we talking about?
This is Gayle King. I don't know Gayle King.
Yeah, well, it's
But
Oprah Winfrey's best friend.
This is what she says in my cipher. The dream for any parent,
Mm-hmm.
and this is so true,
Mm-hmm.
is you want to raise happy, healthy, responsible, compassionate, kind kids.
Yeah,
That should be
Yeah.
the goal of any parent.
good point.
Ask Marilyn.
Let's look at traffic, Papa. It's booming outside right now.
All the police are here.
Yeah, they're going through. There's a traffic jam. What does smart lady Marilyn have to say?
I've never thought about this before, but somebody wrote her a question, and this is what the question is.
Okay.
Has anybody ever written you a question you couldn't answer?
Well, that's a dang good question.
And she said yes.
Oh, well, let's hear that.
This came from
Miss Smarty Pants didn't know one.
Tom Georgie in Carlsbad, California. This was the question.
Okay.
Why is it nearly impossible to do the following? Sit in a chair with both feet on the ground,
Sit in a chair.
then lift your right foot a couple of inches off the floor,
Okay.
and make a clockwise circular section with your foot while it's 2 inches off the floor. At the same time, write the number 6 in the air with your right hand.
Well,
Try it.
I'll pass.
And she says, I couldn't answer it. Why?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What's the point of that?
That question, she said, it won't work. You can't do it.
Right.
So then she's asked 2 questions on this one sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any pets? She said, I've had dogs, cats, parrots, fish, and frogs.
Good Lord.
Currently, I live with a calico cat and a bright orange brine shrimp. He's
Say what?
only 1/4 of an inch long.
What?
He came to me in 2009. His name is Eenie, E-E-N-I-E, and he lives in a closed ecosystem on my desk. This year he's a teenager.
Got to be kidding me. A shrimp?
A shrimp.
I've never in life
A pet
heard
shrimp.
of a
Pet
pet
shrimp.
shrimp.
Sounds like dinner to me.
Exactly.
I remember the first time I ate shrimp. I was going with Carolyn. She was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And she invited me one Friday night down to her house after she got off from work at Myrtle Lee's about 8 o'clock. She invited me down to eat supper.
Yeah.
She had fried shrimp. I had never tasted shrimp before in my life.
Really?
But if I'm going to eat at a Red Lobster, I order shrimp.
Oh yeah, I love it.
This is upsetting, and this is going to be last, but I'll have some jokes.
You have to do a joke then. We can't end on a depressing, sad note.
These are the 5 worst states for elder abuse.
Oh my God.
It goes on in nursing homes.
Wow.
With as many as 10% of Americans over 60 suffering from elder abuse. 60 is awful young.
I would say over 80s where I consider
And seniors
that.
especially vulnerable during the COVID-19 pandemic. The personal finance website Wallet Hub did this research. They ranked all United States in their elder abuse protections based on 16 measurements of abuse or fraud complaints.
So I'm guessing they did this research at a bunch of nursing homes, correct?
Well, it doesn't tell me what those 16 things are either.
No.
But they checked on the laws and the complaints that they had from families of people who are being investigated.
Right.
And fraud and resources spent on elderly citizens. Here's the top 5.
For worst states for this.
Worst state.
Wow.
Utah is number 1. So don't let your people live in Utah. Montana.
Don't let them go to a nursing home in any of these states.
Montana. I've never been.
Who would have thought that?
I've
Either
never
one
been.
of them.
California, I could understand.
Yeah.
Number 3. South Carolina's number 4.
Wow. A
But
southern
guess
state.
who's number 5?
I'm scared to ask because it's probably going to be Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Wow.
That blew my mind that we've
mine
got
too.
45 states that's better than we are in the
And that's
care
an
of our
important-
elderly people.
That's sad. That's scary, sad.
The best states for care of adults that are 60 and above:
That's terrible.
Wisconsin, Massachusetts, and Vermont. Go figure.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm sitting there thinking. Go figure.
Go figure. I don't have an answer. But Carolyn was in
They
the,
need to investigate these nursing homes better, sounds like to me.
well, I'm sure you have somebody that does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you do. But
Kind of surprised to hear it's Utah and Montana on there too.
You wonder if that's
that was
not rate
strange.
of pay.
Oh, I'm
Like a
sure
rate of
that
pay
plays
or-
a part in it.
Or
Absolutely.
I don't know, there's got to be some kind of
That plays a part in it. Absolutely.
when my wife was in the nursing home, I was impressed by the people that worked there because I felt like they had to be called to
Yeah.
do that type of work
Yep.
because much of your day is spent changing diapers of adults.
Yeah. I've seen on specials though where you sometimes like people in the medical profession you can get a psychopath in the medical profession that will literally. I've seen nurses.
everything. Yeah.
Where they'd kill a bunch of people in the hospital just because they were psycho. That could
It
be
happens.
part of it too.
It happens.
It's crazy.
All right, let me.
Let's tell a joke. That was a serious, important conversation, but yeah,
Okay.
very serious.
Teacher said
What teacher say?
to Johnny,
Good old Johnny.
if I gave you 2 cats and another 2 cats and another 2 cats, how many cats would you have? Johnny said 7. The teacher said, no, now listen carefully. I've told you this a lot of times. Listen to what I say, Billy.
Oh yeah, that's your favorite word.
She said, now listen carefully, Johnny. If I
Okay.
give you 2 cats and another 2 cats and another 2 cats, how many cats are you going to have? He said 7.
Why does he keep saying 7? There's gonna be a
Let me put it to you differently. Johnny, if I gave you 2 apples and 2 more apples and 2 more apples, how many apples would you have? 6.
That's just the right answer.
She said, let's go back to the cats. If I gave you 2 cats and 2 cats and 2 cats, how many cats would you have? He said 7. She said, explain to me. He said, I've already got one.
There you go, cat.
That's slick right there now. That's slick.
Now, these 3 women decided to go on a vacation together. They're going to leave their husbands at home or their boyfriends,
Right.
And they're
Okay.
going to go on a vacation, just girls only.
Right. Okay.
So they see a 5-story hotel that has a sign that says for women only. They said, let's stop here. So they park the car and they go inside the hotel.
Okay.
The bouncer, who's a very handsome man, says, let me tell you how it works. We have 5 floors in this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
You go up on the elevator floor by floor. At each floor, before you open the door, the
Okay.
sign will tell you what you will find on that floor.
Well.
You can enter any floor of the 5 you wish to.
Okay.
So
I'm with you so far.
they like the idea, and so they decide that that's what they're going to do. So they start up.
Okay.
On the first floor, the sign says, all the men on this floor are short and plain. They hit the button. They want to go to the next floor. They didn't hesitate. They went short
Well, that
and
was
plain.
a pretty sad description.
On
you
the
know?
second floor, the sign said, all the men here are short and handsome.
Okay.
That's not good enough. They hit the button. They go to floor 3. The sign says here, all the men are tall and plain.
So that's not gonna fly either. I take it.
They didn't like that.
Right.
They hit the button. They go to the 4th floor. On the 4th floor, the sign said, all the men here are tall and handsome.
Okay.
That sounded good to them.
Right.
But they thought, 1 floor left?
They're gonna take a risk.
It's
ain't
getting
they?
better. They hit the button and they go to floor 5. The sign there says, there are no men here. This floor was built only to prove that there's no way to please a woman.
Ooh,
I wouldn't laugh at that, though. Oh,
how can you not? That was dang good. I wasn't expecting that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Got one more?
Yeah, I don't know if you can top that one, but yeah.
Bubba.
Bubba. Well, what's
Do you
old
ever know
Bubba
anybody
do?
named Bubba?
Surprisingly, yes.
I,
Yes.
a couple.
I know a Bubba.
I mean, it's usually a nickname, obviously.
But this boy that I know, it lives on Main Street. He's a good guy. I don't know why they call him Bubba.
It's usually a nickname, yeah.
Well, it usually comes from a family member.
Yeah.
Bubba walks into a doctor's office, and the receptionist asks him what he has,
Right.
and he says shingles.
Ooh, I say that's painful.
So she writes down his name, address, health insurance information, and told him to have a seat.
Right.
15 minutes later, a nurse's aide comes out and asks Bubba what he has. Shingles, he said. So she writes down his height and weighs him and
Okay.
gets a complete medical history and tells Bubba to wait in the examining room. A half hour later,
Dang.
a nurse comes in and asks Bubba what he has. Shingles.
How many times you gotta say it?
So the nurse gives Bubba a blood test, a blood pressure test, and an electrocardiogram, and tells Bubba to take off all his clothes and wait for the doctor. So an hour later,
God.
15 minutes, 30 minutes, and an hour. An
Poor
hour
old
later, the
Bubba.
doctor comes in and finds Bubba patiently sitting in the buff.
Right.
The doctor asks him what he has. And Bubba says, shingles. The doctor glances over his naked body and says, where? And he says, they're outside on the truck. Hurry up and unload them.
Oh, wasn't expecting that either.
Shingles.
Dang. That was good.
Well, to
No
the
wonder they run all the
primary
tests.
care posse, no jokes on WAT radio were broadcasted by. No, I'm just kidding.
That was
We don't
good.
take no responsibility for the jokes.
That's awesome, though.
You reckon women be mad at me for saying what I
Well,
said?
definitely the nurses. You know, all the
That
nurses
was
are
a
going to be
good
mad.
one. It's hard not to laugh at that, though.
Well, those
All
nurses
those were
were-
good.
Next week you can redeem yourself with a men's joke or
Yeah, he may have
have
to.
to do that.
He's been on a roll here lately with the jokes. Consistently good. So keep it up,
That $5 book.
That's what it is.
$5 book.
I've got to find me. I look for books when I go out of town.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to find you another.
Well, we're fixing to lose our newspaper.
Please don't get him started on
We
that.
He and I have been
so
talking
we've already
about
been
it.
talking about it this morning,
Ah,
and it's not a good thing.
of course it's not. It's
And you know
stupid.
what's so amazing about it? The Chattanooga paper is putting a full page out every day.
Yeah.
A full page saying,
Online.
you better get this laptop, $34 a month, and go ahead and subscribe right now because you're not going to get a paper.
So you don't have to get their laptop. You can still get on their.
Yeah, I mean, which other places
with
will
my
have
tablet or
papers,
whatever.
but I don't know why Chattanooga's decided to do that. But
Everybody's
I hate
doing
it.
Well,
not
singing
everybody,
news. You
but
know,
a lot
I
are.
chart music for magazines for around the world and the United States with other DJs, and all the magazines are quitting making magazines. It's the singing news. No more magazine. SGN Scoops magazine. No more magazine.
Do you know?
Well,
Do you
they
have any
shouldn't
idea?
do
They're
that,
still doing it
though.
online. They do it online.
But they shouldn't do that. They should
now
not
wait,
do it.
But do you know why there's no newspaper? Why there's no magazine? Lack of advertising.
Lack of advertising and shortage of paper.
Shortage of paper might be another factor, but I would think everything is switched to online.
Chattanooga's
Yeah.
Channel 9
It'll
has,
change again.
has said the other day that Bowater is closing their plant and
I
laying
heard
300
that.
off.
I read it. I
Yeah.
read it.
Bowater plant over in Bowater, Tennessee over here is closing their plant. That means all those truck drivers you see driving up and down the road with the logs, what are they going to do? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But we're getting on depressing stuff, and we're not going.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, they might run for Emma Boynton's position.
Right.
Forgive
Hey,
me,
made him a
Emma.
man at
They
you.
may do that.
Forgive me, Emma.
Well, you had to save it somehow. You
Yeah,
gotta go back
that
to
was a
the
save.
laughter. All right.
All
Well,
right.
thanks for joining us today, folks. Here on WUAT Radio and Channel 18 BTC Fiber TV and BTC Fiber YouTube page. Don't forget, get on there and subscribe to the BTC Fiber YouTube page. That's it for this episode of the Albert and Billy Show. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time for another edition of the
See you,
Albert and
folks.
Billy Show. So long, everybody. Hey, folks, Albert and Billy here. You're watching us on Channel 18, BTC Fiber. Check us out on BTC Fiber YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like. And check out our Facebook page. Be sure to like and share. Thanks, everybody, for watching.